Let's move on to our second main topic today. And our second topic today gets submitted to us from Patreon supporter Don J. And thank you so much, Don, for being a Patreon supporter. Hey, John. According to The Verge and Bloomberg, Apple TV Plus will launch in November at a price point of $10 a month. Only 5 original shows are scheduled at launch, including The Morning Show with Jennifer Aniston and Steve Carell, and The Amazing Stories reboot. That one's being done by Steven Spielberg, or at least in some way involving Steven Spielberg. With such limited programming at launch, do you see anyone being psyched to join this service? With only 5 shows and really nothing else, I don't see any reason to be excited for this service. All right, so in this new world we're living in, where everything is dominated by streaming services, obviously, we've got Disney Plus coming. We already got Amazon. We got Hulu. We got Netflix. We got the NBC Universal one coming. We've got HBO Max coming. In a world that we already have HBO Now and HBO Go and whatever else. We've got ESPN Plus. We've got this Plus. We got that Plus. So many of them. Apple is entering into the fray. Now, a little while ago, Apple did their big introduction, event where they gathered a bunch of people together and they got on these big stages to talk about it, and it was boring as crap. There was I just remember we watched that, Rob, and I remember I was watching. It's like I saw nothing to get excited about. I mean, I saw them talk about some things that could be some kind of interesting programming, but nothing in that presentation at all jumped up at me and said, I got to get this service for this. Now, for those of you who are a little bit behind and not quite sure about all the details, here's what's going on. This is the report from Bloomberg itself saying the company Apple is considering offering the first 3 episodes of some programs, followed by weekly installments. The people that they spoke to said, by the way, I like that. I like that approach. Anyway, Netflix tends to release whole seasons at once for binging, while AT&T's HBO and Disney Hulu often release episodes weekly. The service will launch globally in over 150 countries, which is a big difference from Disney Plus, which is launching in like 4 or 5. Apple's initial slate of shows will include The Morning Show, Steven Spielberg's Amazing Stories, See with Jason Momoa, Truth Be Told with Octavia Spencer, and a documentary series about extravagant houses called Home. Now, that report is coming from Bloomberg. Couple of interesting things here that I think are worth noting. Number one, the launching point at $10 a month. Is that so bad? I actually don't think that's a bad starting price point. I mean, it's not as competitive as Disney's starting price point, but still, considering the fact that there are some idiots out there, namely me, who paid for CBS All Access just so I could watch one show. I mean, I got CBS All Access just so I could watch Discovery. And I've done that sort of thing before. Launching with 5 programs at $10 a month, provided they keep it at $10 a month as they roll out and expand, and we'll see what other kind of shows they add to their library, depending on what rights are left for different shows. That's not bad. The best part of this, Rob, as I alluded to already, though, is I like that they're adopting the strategy of week after week. This could serve them very well moving forward. Because if any of these shows are good, you're going to get the advantage of what you and I were talking about, that prolonged every single week people get to talk about it again, as opposed to, like, say, a Netflix, which drops an entire season, people talk about it for 2 or 3 days, and then they don't talk about it anymore. So that could serve them well. The other big differential thing in there, of course, was the 150 countries at launch. That's really a testimony to the global reach that Apple as a service already has, and they've been spent years already laying the foundation with distribution rights and territorial rights. So that's really a testament to that. That gives them a bit of a leg up. But Rob, I'll tell you, I'm still not excited about it. Look, when it comes down to it, it's about the programming. The service is good. The price is good. It's a reliable platform. Great, but you've got to have the programming. And right now, they have done a piss poor job of getting anybody excited about the programming. Like this morning show, that looks interesting. The Jason Momoa one, Octavia Spencer, looks interesting. Steven Spielberg, okay, that's interesting, but they've done a terrible job to get anybody excited about it. So as of right now, when this thing launches, I have no intent right now of signing up for this damn thing. Do you?
No. Look, I'm a huge Apple fan. I've been an Apple fan since the mid-'80s. I use their equipment all day long. But this, like you said, I did watch the trailer for the morning show that dropped, I think, yesterday. The extended trailer. It's Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon and Steve Carell. Now, it looks good. It looks like it's a very slickly made show, but do I want to watch a show about a morning talk show rivalry? I mean, is that when I'm watching The Boys and, I'm watching Mindhunter and I'm watching all of these some really quality television now. I don't know if Apple, even the morning show is as well made as it looks and as great as the actors are, the actual subject matter does not ignite my intellect. And while I want to see a new Amazing Stories that Spielberg produced, who's making it? Like, who's in it? Do we know anything about it? Like, who's the showrunner? And I just, in this day and age, it's the shows themselves. It's not, like we talked about yesterday, I have no brand loyalty to Netflix. I will watch Netflix if they put on good programming. I will watch Amazon because they have good shows. That's it. If the shows don't interest me, why should I sign up for the service?
Aaron, you're seeing this. Do you right now, as a consumer, do you see anything on the Apple Plus platform right now that is like getting your blood flowing, thinking, yeah, I got to go and sign up for this thing?
100%. I'm in. I'm signing up. No question. Number one, yes. Okay. I know that there's only 5 shows right now, but they have 30 shows on their slate that are in various stages of production. And these 5 happen to be the ones that they're launching first. Mojan Aria. Mojan, Mojean, Aria, Aria, I believe. Look him up. He's a phenomenal actor. I'm calling it now. You're going to thank me. He was my scene partner in our acting class together. And he was showing me clips on his iPhone from C, which he's in with Jason Momoa. And it is phenomenally shot. It is so beautiful. I don't even really know what the show is about, but I'm excited to see it just for the sheer awesomeness of what I've already seen. Tim Cook has gone on record and said that what they're doing on Apple Plus is like nothing that's ever been done before. I'm intrigued by that, and I'm not surprised that they haven't shot their load already with everything that it's going to be. I have a feeling that they are going to be making bigger announcements as we get right up to it. And also one thing you have to keep in mind, Apple has the budget. They have
that's the
much money. They will never run out of money. They can afford to get the best showrunners, the best actors, the best writers, the best directors. They can afford it, and they're hemorrhaging money on this. But you know what? This is a well that will not ever run dry. So I'm in. I'm really excited to see what they have, and I'm going to pay. And I think that hopefully what I've also read is that they might offer like the first month free for people who already have an Apple TV, which a lot of people do. So I'm in. I'm in. I'm at least going to give it a first month. And if all their shows suck, which I kind of doubt, then maybe I'll go away. But I'm definitely going to give it a shot for sure.
Well, I think you make a really good point. The fact that they're sparing no expense.
Yeah.
And we are going to have...
Well, Spielberg, J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the talent.
We are going to have some great... but again, it seems like we're getting TV shows from all the same people. And I wonder, are they going to spread themselves too thin? I mean, I can't wait to see... Look, this golden age is rolling on. The great thing about Apple, which is the same thing that Netflix had going for it, but who knows how long that lasts, is they do have they have money. Mm-hmm. And when they can afford to make a 10-episode show and spare no expense, we're going to get some quality programming, no doubt. And I want to see what they're able to do. And at least, regardless, we're going to live through an age, at least for the next 5 or 10 years, where we're going to get some great, really great programming.
Well, especially Amazing Stories. I mean, as an 80s baby, I remember Amazing Stories, and I loved it. It was one of my favorite television shows, and that was with the limited capabilities that they had in the mid 80s. I can't even fathom what they're going to be able to do with it now. I am excited. I am curious to see how much involvement Steven Spielberg has. I like to think that he's going to have his finger a little bit more deeply rooted in this than just putting his name on it, since it was a TV show that he was so integrally involved with in the 80s.
Yeah.
Look, I think quoting the resources of Apple is going to be a key thing here, because they will have the resources to do whatever they want to do. I am still just at this point that I am stunned that they are doing such a bad job to get people excited about it. Because, by the way, launching with 5 shows, Disney Plus ain't launching with anything more than that. I mean, they'll have a back library, but they're launching with what? Mandalorian, some lady in the tramp I couldn't give 2 squirts of piss about.
Come on.
And
That was a very visual reference.
and 1 or 2. So let's not be too put off by them launching with 5. It's just that right now it's mid-August. We're getting close to September. This thing is launching in November against Disney Plus when it's launching. And you've got everybody buzzing about Disney Plus, but with Apple, with all of their money, they have failed to get excitement generating for this thing. And
When is Disney Plus launching?
Also in November.
Well, maybe by the time people are done talking about, maybe they're letting people talk as much as they want about Disney Plus, and then when the excitement starts to die down, that's when they're going to swoop in so that people are talking only about Apple right before they both launch, and people are already done talking about Disney. Maybe that's a strategic move on their part.
I don't know. It's you're launching The Mandalorian against morning. I don't know. I just feel like they've got to do a better job of this thing. But who knows where maybe it'll be an entirely different story a year from now. Like that's going to be I wish I could have a crystal ball and look 1 year into the future right now to see how we're talking about where Apple TV Plus is and where Disney Plus is at that moment. It's going to be interesting to see. All right, question here is, guys, what do you think about all that? Are you excited about the Apple TV Plus service right now? What do you think about the price point? What do you think about their opening offerings and when they're opening at the same time? Are you excited about it? Jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. All right.